Welcome to Fair Game. I'm Kristine Leahy. My guest today is a boxing Hall of Famer, a 6-time world champion, an Olympic gold medalist, and was the first boxer to earn more than $100 million in purses. Boxing icon Sugar Ray Leonard. It is amazing to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Well, thanks for having me, Kristine.
That's a mouthful, what I just said. I mean, there's a lot that goes into everything that you are. And when you hear all of those things, like, what goes through your mind?
You know, I just think about my career, how it started and where it ended. It was a journey. It was an incredible journey. And the ironic thing about it is the fact that I was not going to pursue professional boxing. Yeah. You know, after I won the Olympic in, what, 76, yep. I came home. My dad went to a coma. God, and I asked my mentor, James Morton, I said, how can I make fast money? He said, turn pro. I didn't give it a second thought. I turned pro and met up with some incredible people, Mike Traynor, my attorney, my friend, my partner, James Morton. I mean, my team, my corner was the best.
What was your hesitation about turning pro?
I didn't want to, because I've heard stories about legendary champions, Sugar Ray Robinson, to name a few. They ended up with nothing. They made money, good money, big money back then, but at the end of the day, they had nothing to show for it. I mean, I didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't want to be a part of that. I was going to go to the University of Maryland, further my education, get a good job, and life goes on.
What would you have been today if you went to school? You
know, I know you're going to laugh, but I want to be a substitute teacher.
A substitute? Not a teacher, but a substitute? Why?
Because I've met some incredible substitute teachers who were so nice, and men and women, and they always encouraged me to be better than I was. And I want to give back. Even as a kid, I always wanted to give back. I always wanted to reciprocate, because I always felt that I was a blessed man, blessed boy, blessed kid.
When you talk about this incredible team that you had around you, do you think it was partially luck, or was that something that you specifically sought out and made sure that you had those specific people with you?
I didn't necessarily sort out. I mean, although it was on my mind, but it was meant to be. It was destined. I wanted my legacy to be wonderful. Not that I was just a great fighter, but I was a good person, that I gave back. I had the best, I keep saying this, I had the best corner ever.
You met Muhammad Ali before you turned pro, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
How did you meet him?
I met him through a friend. We had a chance to meet him, probably was in Jersey or probably in Las Vegas, and I remember having a chance to sit beside him, and he was my idol, and I looked at him, and he's talking. He said, hey, I know who you are. He said that to me. I know who you are. He said, you like boxing? I said, yes, sir. He said, how long do you wait before you're having sex before a fight?
That's the first thing.
He asked me. He said, do you like sex? I said, sometimes. He said, how long do you wait before a fight you stop having sex? I said, about a couple of days. You're a bad dude. You're a bad dude. He was so much to me, Muhammad Ali. And I went to his funeral, and strange enough, I didn't break down or anything. But 2 days after I got back home, I cried like a baby because I missed him.
Just his presence. Just
his presence and my friendship and my trust in him. And he always told me, he said, make sure you sign your own checks, make sure you stay in shape. And he gave me a lot of pointers that I've used then and I still use today as an entrepreneur.
What was the best advice he ever gave you?
Sign your own checks.
That one?
Yeah, he always said that, sign your own checks and always be ready, always be in shape. I keep talking like him, try to talk like him. Be in shape, don't take anyone for granted.
Wow, so even between fights, don't take time off.
Well, you got to be focused. He said you got to have what I call tunnel vision. Prepare for whoever your opposition is.
Okay.
And I've always done that. Always done that.
So you guys always stayed close?
Yes, yes.
How much time did he say you needed to stop having sex before? I'm always curious with boxers.
A couple months.
Months?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of your pre-fight rituals and things you would do before the fight, you had a lot of interesting ones, but the most interesting one to me is you would look in the mirror and you knew based on who you saw whether you would win. Can you explain that to me?
It was just a thing that I trusted. I look into that mirror and the image that I would normally see, 98% of the time I will see Sugar Ray Leonard. So I could beat anyone. Every blue moon, I would see Ray Leonard, the civilian, and I knew it would be a tough night in that fight.
Why do you think you would see the different people?
Because even today, I mean, I look at my career, what I've done, that person I see on the screen, fighting Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvin Hagler, that had to be Sugar Ray Leonard. That was not me, although it was me, but it's a mindset.
Sure.
It's a mindset. Could
you make Sugar Ray show up in the mirror?
It's intuitive. How bad do you want that? It's a natural thing. It's a natural process. How bad do you want to win? And I tell people this, I tell kids this, you know, how bad do you want to win? Because that will dictate what happens.
When did Sugar Ray not show up?
The first Duran fight. The first Duran fight, my first loss, which was painful. And mentally, it was draining. And then later on in my career when I should have been retired, because I made more comebacks than, I don't know.
I can't knock it. You didn't want to leave.
but I think I made more comebacks than most, for sure. But I always knew the night before I was going to win or lose. And then what would solidify that was the mirror. I look in the mirror in my dressing room. That was a scary moment. Walking to the ring, I knew kind of like what was going to happen and what was about to take place. Because you just it gives me the shakes right now.
Do you ever get used to getting hit? I always
no.
Oh, you don't?
No,
okay.
You don't get used to getting hit. But although I would say that when I was younger, in my 20s, I didn't think about getting hit. My last fight, I was 40 years old, Hector Camacho, and I got hit by a jab. I said, that hurt. That hurt, and I knew I shouldn't have been in that ring.
At that moment.
At that moment, at that precise moment, I said. But then I try to will it. I try to reach deep down inside the intestinal fortitude to really make something happen, and it's what it is. It was, you know.
You were 40.
Yes.
You had a really good run.
I did. I really did. I really
pretty
did.
good.
I mean, I look back on it and say, do I have any regrets? I mean, no, I really don't, because I am who I am because of what I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You also did a lot of really interesting things to gain an advantage over your opponents, including sending a spy to Marvin Hagler's camp. Is this true?
It wasn't really a spy per se. It was a...
Per se.
It was a... What's another word for spy?
Undercover investigator?
It was an undercover guy, and that guy was J.D. Brown.
Okay.
J.D., my friend, and I said, J.D., go to this camp and see, you know, check it out. And he'll go there, and he'll look and see, observe what Duran is doing, or Hagler's doing, or Tommy Hearns is doing.
Yeah.
And he'll come back. He said, you know what? Hagler believed the first person in the middle of the ring wins the fight. Duran wants you to be stationary. Tommy Hearns just wants you to be there because he has long arms. Mm-hmm. And I beat them, and it's through, you know, that information that I received.
Is that the most unique thing you did to gain an advantage?
That really is. I choreograph the fights in my head. I figure out your weaknesses, your strong points, and I use that against you. Mm-hmm. Or my opponent, I should say.
After 30 years, it's been 30 years now since that Hagler fight. You won the fight.
Well, I feel I won the fight, but he feels he won the fight.
Yes.
But that was a good fight. It was a close fight.
Okay.
So it's very objective, the scoring, because you got people say, well, Hagler won the fight, and I don't argue that. I can't argue that. And then they say Ray won the fight. Okay, but I won the fight because I went the distance, because no one thought I had a chance, a shot at this. No one, not even most of, I would say most of my people, of my group, my corner.
So
rightfully so, though.
So you can see then why people go both ways.
Yeah.
Is that hard for you?
I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive to those kind of things, and it's hard to swallow sometimes. But I mean, as the years went by, and as I continue to watch it every now and then, watch the fight every now and then, I feel like I won, and Hagler feels he won.
Check out our YouTube channel, Fair Game, on FS1 to catch all the best highlights of our show. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.